Embrace and honor your cycle as part of God's design. By understanding and working with your cycle, you can optimize your well-being and personal development. Hi everyone, my name is Lysandra Salazar and welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into a topic that every woman should know: cycle syncing. We'll explore what the Bible says about menstruation, the historical context, how it's viewed today, and why it's a beautiful gift from God. We'll also break down the different phases of our cycle, including what hormones are involved, how we might feel, and recommended foods and activities for each phase. Let's get started. Historical and biblical context. First, let's talk about the historical and biblical context about menstruation. Menstruation is mentioned in the Bible, specifically in Leviticus 15:19 through 30, where it's described as a time of uncleanliness. During biblical times, women were often isolated during their menstrual period due to these laws, reflecting a view that menstruation was something to be dealt with privately and carefully. Now let me summarize this section for you. Leviticus 15:19 through 30. A woman is considered unclean for 7 days during her menstrual period, and anyone who touches her is also unclean until evening. Anything the woman lies on or sits on is also unclean. If a man has sexual relations with a woman and her blood touches him, he is also unclean for 7 days. If a woman has a discharge of blood for several days outside of her menstrual period, or if the discharge continues beyond her normal period, she is considered unclean for as long as the discharge continues. The same rules apply to objects she lies on or sits on, and anyone who touches them becomes unclean until evening. They must then wash their clothes and bathe in water. After becoming clean, the woman must count off 7 days and then bring 2 doves or 2 young pigeons to the priest. Now, the purpose for the woman bringing 2 doves or pigeons to the priest was to offer a sacrifice for their purification. This ritual was a way for the Israelites to maintain ceremonial cleanliness and to remind them of the importance of maintaining holiness before God. Let's move on to the theological perspective as to how women got their period. According to the Bible in Genesis 3, after Adam and Eve disobeyed God by eating the forbidden fruit, God pronounced a series of consequences for their actions. To Eve, God said, "I will greatly increase your pains in childbearing. With pain you will give birth to children." Many theologians and scholars interpret this passage as not only referring to the pain of childbirth, but as also an onset to menstruation. The idea is that the pain and regular cycle of menstruation serve as a reminder of the human condition and the fallen state of the world. However, this doesn't mean that menstruation is a curse or something negative. Rather, it's part of the complex and beautiful way that God designed our bodies. It's a natural process that prepares the body for the potential of bringing new life into the world, reflecting the nature of renewal and growth that is evident throughout creation. Historical views on menstruation. Historically, menstruation has been treated in various ways across different cultures. In ancient Jewish society, as we mentioned, menstruation was seen as a time of impurity. However, in other cultures, menstruation was viewed with deep respect and was seen as a sign of fertility and womanhood. Today, we're moving towards a more holistic and respectful understanding of menstruation, recognizing it as a natural and vital part of a woman's life. Not gonna lie, I think this topic can be taboo for a lot of people, but I believe it's important to know your body and get educated so you can treat your body as a temple and honor it. If you take care of your body, it will take care of you. The beauty of menstruation. So why is menstruation beautiful? From a faith-based perspective, menstruation is a symbol of fertility and God's intricate design for the female body. It reminds us of the potential of bringing new life into the world, and it is a unique aspect of our womanhood. Embracing menstruation as a gift helps us appreciate our bodies and the way God created us. Understanding the menstrual cycle. Now let's break down the different phases of our cycle and how we can sync our activities and self-care with each phase. First, we have the menstrual phase. During the menstrual phase, estrogen and progesterone are low, so you might feel tired, have low energy, and be more introspective. This means more reflection. Foods you should focus on are iron-rich foods like spinach, lentils, and red meat to replenish lost iron. Hydrating foods and warm, nourishing meals can also be very comforting. Gentle activities you can do during this time are like yoga, walking, and resting. Journaling and reflection can also be very beneficial during this time. Next is the follicular phase. In the follicular phase, estrogen levels start to rise. This means you'll likely experience an increase in energy, improved mood, and a sense of renewal and creativity. Foods you should focus on during this time are nutrient-dense foods like leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and lean proteins to support rising energy levels. You can also incorporate healthy fats like avocado and olive oil. Activities you can do during this time are high-energy workouts, starting new projects, and social activities. This is a great time for planning and brainstorming. Next is the ovulatory phase. During ovulation, estrogen levels peak and there is a surge in luteinizing hormone. This is a chemical in your body that stimulates important processes in your reproductive system, such as ovulation. This is when you will feel the most energetic, confident, and sociable. Foods you should focus on during this time are light, fresh foods, such as salads, fruits, and vegetables. Stay hydrated and incorporate foods that support liver function, like broccoli, kale, Brussels sprouts, and cabbage. Some activities you can do during this time are socializing, public speaking, networking, and high-intensity workout. This is the optimal time for collaboration and communication. Lastly, we have the luteal phase. In the luteal phase, progesterone levels rise and there is a slight decrease in estrogen. You may start to feel more introspective, experience mood swings, or PMS symptoms as the phase progresses. Foods you should eat are complex carbohydrates like sweet potatoes and whole grains to help stabilize your mood. Magnesium-rich foods like leafy greens and dark chocolate can also help with PMS symptoms. Some activities you can do are moderate exercises like Pilates, swimming, self-care activities, and finishing up tasks. As you near the end of this phase, focusing on rest and relaxation is important. Practical tips and encouragement. Now let's talk about some practical tips for cycle syncing. First, it's important to track your menstrual cycle. There are many apps available that can help you track where you are in your menstrual cycle. For example, I use the Flow app, which I know can be very controversial, but it works for me. There are also apps like Clue, My Calendar, or Stardust. Once you know your cycle, you can align your activities and self-care with each phase. During the menstrual phase, focus on rest and gentle activities. In the follicular phase, take advantage of your increased energy by starting new projects and being active. Use the ovulatory phase for socializing and high-intensity activities. Finally, in the luteal phase, focus on self-care and finishing up tasks. Embrace and honor your cycle as part of God's design. By understanding and working with your cycle, you can optimize your well-being and personal development. That is the end for today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more faith-based personal development content. I would love to hear your thoughts, so please share them in the comments below. And don't forget to share this video with someone else who might benefit from this information. Thank you so much and have a blessed day. Bye!